Hello and welcome to our channel, you little smashers. How are you doing? Today I'm going to be talking about the comfort zone and I'm going to get biblical. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So a little while ago we were talking about Anthony DeMello and about attachments and how attachments are what actually take away our happiness. Attachments are what spoil it totally for us. I was listening to the audiobook that I've got of Anthony DeMello and there was just this line that stood out to me, and it was a quote from Jesus. Okay, Jesus, I hear you say, Jesus Christ. Is he talking about the Bible? Yes, I am. I like the Bible. Hey, I'm not saying that the Bible is all good, but there are bits of it that I really love. Anyway, so there's this sentence that Jesus says, and it's in various of the books, so he said it a number of times. And he says this: whoever desires to save their life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Okay? And it just stood out to me, that sentence, on so many levels. Because when I look at what's happening in this world, the people who have chosen to save their life, the people who saving their life is the most important thing, could very well lose it. And that's kind of on a mechanical, practical level. But also, on a spiritual level, the people who desperately want to stay safe lose their life. And the life is the life that they could live. Life of happiness, life of fulfillment, life of feeling authentic. Safety steals that away from you. It's the classic comfort zone, and I know we've talked about this before, but the comfort zone is constantly in movement. It's constantly in movement. Either you are expanding it or it's contracting. If you don't push out, it comes in. It doesn't stay still. It doesn't go, okay. You push it out or it comes in and it comes in and it comes in and can end up smaller than you are. That's when you're in big trouble. Yeah. Safety, it ties in with the way that we are as people. Right. So, other quote from the Bible. Jesus came with good news. Okay. Oh, by the way, I've got to get to the second part of his quote. But Jesus came with the good news of the kingdom, and they killed him. Okay. Not because it was good. It was because it was new. Right? For whatever reason, it's all about that scripture that I've just quoted. It's all about safety. We don't like new. We don't like new. Generally, people, especially asleep people, hate new. Don't tell me that everything that I believed all of my life is a lie. Don't tell me that. That's too new for me. That's too much newness. Okay, that's where they are. They are fighting to stay safe. And through that fight of wanting to stay safe, they're losing their life. So what's the other bit? It says, and those that are willing to give up their life for my sake will find it. All right? Now, this in my book is talking about the death of the ego. I'm sure it's talking about lots of different things as well, but I would like to focus on the death of the ego. What is the death of the ego? For me, it's the hero's journey. It's where something so awesomely bad or overwhelming or it just life-altering happens to you. And that can be where everything gets taken away from you. And that can be on a physical level, where you lose everything. That happened to me in my life. Total wipeout in my life. It can be where you get an illness, where the doctor says it's very likely that you're going to die. That's everything gone. Yeah, that's it. Everything's gone. Okay? Or potentially. How many people have you heard that have had a terminal illness, have recovered from it, and has had a total life change? They've said, Do you know what? That was the best thing that ever happened to me. Do you know how many times I hear that? That was the best thing that ever happened to me. And generally when people say that, they never, or rarely do they refer to a good event, like a wonderful event. I won the lottery. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. Normally that's the other way around. That was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Okay? But it's nearly always adversity. Why? Why is it that when people have adversity, they say it's the best thing that ever happened to me? It changed my life. It made me rethink. Well, what it is, it's baptism, which is the hero's journey, which is this scripture. If you're willing to die, and dying is dying to your beliefs, dying to who you think that you are, who you're attached to, the life that you're attached to, the person that you believe you are, the person that you believe everybody else is, the government that you believe the government is, the world that you believe the world is. If you are willing to die, the act of going under the water, dying and being reborn, okay, that's what this is all about. This is letting go of being safe, giving up your life. It doesn't mean that you're going to throw yourself off a cliff, right? That's not what it's about. So yeah, I'll throw myself off a cliff, and that's, no. It's much more difficult to give up your life than it is to give up your physical life. It's much more difficult to give up your beliefs, your values, your ideals, than it is to give up your physical life. Giving up your physical life, as they say, is a very permanent solution to a very temporary problem. However, many people go through their entire life being attached to themselves. Attached to themselves. Now that seems like a ridiculous thing. We're all attached to ourselves. Without this, where would we be? But it's attached to the idea of who you are. Who are you? Well, I am. No, you're not. Whatever you think you are, you're much more than that. Whatever you think you are, you're more than that. But lots of people get tied up on, I'm a doctor. How dare you? On the plane, remember the story about the whole mask incident? And the person on the back said, I should know, I am a doctor. That's attachment. That's attachment to who they are. Yeah? They're unhappy people. Unhappy people have to tell you who they are. Right? People who are attached to who they are, and it means so much to them, and they could never, ever give that up. They're very unhappy. And you can spot them, because when you talk to people who are attached to who they are, and it's very important to them, in a conversation, they will, very rarely will more than 30 seconds to a minute pass before they've told you at least 2 or 3 things about who they are. Yeah, that's when you know that somebody's attached. They're still in this very deep, heavy 3D. Yeah, and remember, there's nothing wrong with 3D. I'm going to talk about 3D in the next video. There's nothing wrong with 3D. I'm not criticizing 3D. I love 3D. 3D is lovely. I love it. That's why I came here. But there's one thing to love it, cherish it, enjoy it. The other thing is to worship it and to be fearful of losing it. That's when we get attached to things. That's when we are not willing to give up our life. That's when all we're interested in is being safe. Let's just stay the same. Let's just be this. Okay? So, what's the solution to it? How do you overcome it? How do you give up your life? Well, the way that you give up your life is by getting out of your comfort zone. And how do you get out of your comfort zone? It's easy. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt. All you need to do is this. You, on purpose, put yourself into uncomfortable situations where you are having to create something new that you've never done before. That's it. That's it. Make yourself as uncomfortable as possible. What that does is that pushes your comfort zone out. When you have a big comfort zone, there's nothing that phases you. Everything's possible. Everything's possible. People who have small comfort zones start most sentences off with a no. No. Would you? No. Actually, no. No, because. No, because. No, because. No, because. That's what you hear. They're shitting themselves. They're terrified. They're terrified of losing their life. Just let me have this quiet little life. It's okay. But it isn't okay. It gets smaller and smaller. They become more and more miserable until they disappear up their own arse. Yeah? We don't want that. Right? Now's not the time. Now's not the time. So, questions to ask yourself. Are you on the right path? Just look at your life a year ago and say to yourself, how am I different from what I was a year ago? What have I achieved over this last 12 months? What have I done that's different? Where have I pushed myself? Where have I extended my boundaries? What have I done that's more than what I've been doing before? If you can write yourself a good list, thumbs up. Well done. Well done. If you haven't got much to write down, okay, then all that is, it's a little signal to say you need to start making yourself uncomfortable. Make yourself uncomfortable. And that doesn't mean putting yourself in risky situations. That's not what I'm talking about. However, look, if putting yourself in a risky situation is like abhorrent to you and it makes you, no, probably you need to do it. Yeah? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about doing things that normally would make you feel fearful. And remember, we get fearful at anything new. Something that makes you feel fearful, I promise you, this is how it works, okay? And I'm telling you this because I've done it. So I'm not telling you, this is not theory, this is practice, okay? Just use your body as your barometer, right? And think about the things that you would like to do. Those thoughts where you go, oh, that would be really nice. Oh my God, but too frightened. Choose one of them. Choose the least impactful one, but one that creates fear inside, and do the fucker. Do it. Just do it. And what I promise will happen is that you'll do it. You'll make some mistakes along the way, and you'll have to think about it, and you might have to do it a couple of times to get it right. And then you'll finish and you'll think, wow, I am able to do that. I was able to do that. Now what next? Okay, there's always going to be fear. Always going to be fear before you do anything. It's a natural thing. It's your body making sure. Fear is all around you getting yourself prepared, making sure you've got all your everything ready, all your plans in place. It's amazing. The more prepared you are, the less fearful you become. However, over preparation is a lie. People who over prepare are just frightened and they're just putting it off, right? Leap. You cannot cross the chasm in little jumps. The man who spends his whole life thinking before he acts often spends his whole life on one foot. Throw yourself at it. Just go for it. Make yourself scared. Make yourself frightened. Don't go mad at the beginning, but hey, why not? This is the hero's journey. This is the hero's journey. The fear is, I don't want to fight the monster. I don't want to do that because I don't know if I'm able to do that. Doesn't matter. If you don't do it well, you've learned a valuable lesson. If you do it well, you've got something fantastic in your life that you didn't have before. And you also have this incredible boost of self-esteem. Okay? So have I sold this for you? Get yourself uncomfortable. All right? Be willing to give up your life to gain it. Don't stay safe because you're going to lose it. Okay? I love you all. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.